Hello and welcome, Essex County College family. This is the Virtual Cafe powered by Student Life and Activities. Today's episode, number 62, is our club showcase with the PreMed Club. Now, this is a group of highly sophisticated, skilled, intellectual, and innovative students that are most likely going to be the ones saving our lives in the next 50, 60, 70, 100 plus years. So without any further ado, let's get to know the Essex County College PreMed Club. So we are here today with our PreMed Club executives and their advisor, Professor Kabakibi. We have our vice presidents of the club, dual vice presidents. We have Victoria Adara-Bigby and Zafarala Budasinj. Thank you all for coming to the cafe today. Thanks for sitting down for a coffee chat, even though none of us have a coffee. The PreMed Club has an awesome logo. We got that established. Good job. Let's talk about keeping the club engaged during COVID-19. It's a hot topic. That's what I started off with the last time I did an interview with the Phi Theta Kappa. Let's start with Victoria. What's it been like keeping this club together or starting activities with this club during COVID? Was there a break in time where y'all didn't meet maybe when the pandemic first broke out, or give us the history since COVID started?
Actually, we were elected during the pandemic, so we knew what we were getting into. We knew what the club was going to be about. We know what the changes was going to be. So I myself and other executive members, we were newly elected. So transitioning to the online system wasn't really that hard because we knew what we were going into. It is it's a little bit different though, because some of the activities, for instance, we started actually a variety of activities from alumni guest speaker guest speaker series where we invite previous alumni that are from Essex County College. They are now in the medical school. Some of them are in the medical school, some of them are in college. We invite them over to come again to come and share their experience with us. And we've started that. That's a new thing. We also continue with the tutoring program that's always been with the PreMed Club. So we're still doing some of the things that PreMed Club has started with. We are interested in keeping the originality of the club, but just implementing new ways to it. For instance, instead of having the guest speakers come to the school, we have them come through Zoom. And it has been a platform that allows us to basically accommodate different people. Like for instance, during before the pandemic, right? Some of our alumni, they might be in medical school, they might be in the college, they might be very overwhelmed with their work. But these with the situation, this gave us the opportunity to basically, at the convenience of their home, at the convenience of what they're doing, they're able to reach out and just give back to the club and school, basically. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear you all have been keeping it together. Zafarala, the same question to you. Events before COVID compared to events now, is it a super big change, or do you find, like Victoria said, it actually opens up some opportunities because now you can have a guest speaker and it's not all the hustle and bustle of having to get up and go somewhere. They can do it from the privacy of their own home.
Yes, definitely there were limitations, but there's also comes along with some benefits because before we weren't able to right now we're able to bring like guest speakers or people who aren't able to access us, that are really far away, or probably another state. They're able to come in and give us their experience on what they and their path through medical school, through onwards from Essex to a four-year university, and what they took to lift themselves up and achieve what they did. And that's definitely inspired a lot of kids. We had us, the advisors and both executives, have worked very closely together to minimize these challenges that we faced online. There was a lot of time challenges. There was a lot of meeting challenges. People weren't able to meet some days, some weren't able to, but we made it work. Um, we kept the club, we tried our best to keep the club engaged during COVID. We tried to implement different online settings activities that many of the club members can do. Last semester, we were able to do a club promotional poster event where we had our members design a poster for the Bio Pre-Med Club, where we sponsored on social media. And they were able to get a pin and a shirt for that. And we also were we there was a lot of missing in live interactions between our club members, but we tried our best to keep them engaged with our on stuff that we plan for the future and stuff that are interesting to them, like our tutoring program we offered that helped the students in the school, help them to like come in with a help them when this sorry it helped them to when they were struggling on COVID related issues and school, because COVID usually not everyone can adapt well to online learning. It's not for everyone. So a lot of people that were doing previously well in school started to struggle because they weren't able to have that one-on-one interaction with their peers, that they weren't able to have that situation where they could just situate themselves away from their families and distractions and external things that would distract their minds. So we were able to have a Zoom meeting with them one-on-one and help students that were interested on STEM related subjects. And that was basically a very nice initiative we pushed last year, and we're pushing again this year. A lot of the club members and activity, we like to conduct our meetings remotely now. We via Zoom, and we make it work even with the limitations. Actually, our last meeting, we're able to accommodate a lot more people because of it was such a big event, and a lot of people, if it was a regular size classroom, wouldn't be able to fit, or will have limitations with that. So a lot of people that weren't able to come were able to come because it was Zoom platform. So there are benefits, but there are limitations as well. So we try our best to make it work.
Yes, and just to add to what Zafralo is saying, we have so much more coming for the students. The Biopremed Club is such that the changes doesn't really stop us. We know what we want. We know what the purpose and the goal of the club is. Like for instance, after the pandemic, after the pandemic, we have initiative to do a blood drive to the event Josh was talking about, the Farala was talking about, is the Newark program where we invite Dr. Mbodo. Many faculty members showed up, key faculty members at the school that would really inspire the students showed up at our event. So we are planning to have many more in the future. We're planning to have the blood drive. We're planning to have a cleanup. We're planning to have we're planning to continue having the guest speakers come because they just motivate our members. They motivate not just the members, the officers as well, because we need this. We're graduating, so we also want to. We are also in this line of the biology, pre-med club. We're biology pre-med majors. So it's like we have a lot coming soon for this.
I feel like the guest speakers are a very important aspect of the Bio Pre-Med Club because it shows our students and our members what you can achieve beyond Essex. It shows them that, after Essex, you can go to that 4-year university, you can go to that medical school. These are normal people that went to Essex with you, and they could, especially the Lumiere, they're normal people who went to Essex with you, and they can inspire you to reach those greater heights for higher education, and it's very inspirational.
Absolutely. And the alumni is a great bank for you all to dip into for guest speakers, right? Because these are all former students of Essex, and who knows where they are now. There may be doctors, they may be nurses, and you keep in touch with them, and that's how you have your built-in networking. It's great that this club is, you said you have guest speakers coming up, blood drives. Professor Kabakibi, when you see this group of gifted individuals doing all this club work outside of their own studies and coursework, What's it been like for you during COVID, watching them adapt to moving to virtual and trying to keep the club together?
I think since the initiation of the club and the initiation of the executive members and bringing the team together, all the members, it was really an extraordinary activity that they've done. They went beyond their regular norm of academic and going through the school and taking courses, and they did all these extracurricular activities. And I think I see a lot nice transformation from moving from executive to executive, and they passing the baton from one academic year to the next. And every time I see these transitioning, it is a challenge during COVID, but they were able, that adaptability to change was extraordinary. They did an outstanding job, this current executive members. They went above and beyond. I have many executive members that everybody on board, they were helping each other. And with me as an advisor, I was trying to do the best I can to really working with everybody, trying to make sure that number one is the mission and the vision of the club is being done on all of these activities. And then also to help peer, what we need to do is we need to do that peer mentorship to also to give rise to the student, to let them know that Essex is always being there as a quality education. It provides a lot of opportunity to students. And actually, when we mention about giving back to Essex, some of those students who graduated from Essex, they coming back and we invite them back to give back to Essex. As simple as giving maybe become a speaker on an event to tell them how well they did and the foundation that they built at Essex County College Education, the network that they built, all, I'm not going to call the word tricks, but everything that they did, that usually we emphasize it on a regular basis, but when they hear it from another student, it really helps the student say, well, I think this person did it. And then also give them a comfort that I have somebody at Rutgers or somebody at Keene. We had a couple of event speakers in the past year, even during pandemic. Some of these alumni, they already graduated from Rutgers, others from Keene University. And it's good when you see other individuals giving them tips of, okay, when you go to a 4-year, how would you do this? What is the best way? If you want to do mentorship, if you want to do shadowing doctors. And beside that, we also had a nice network with some of the volunteer type of work, which was called Student to Science. This is a very good program. I have a couple of my students who are PreMed and they're a member of the club. They went and volunteers. It's called the Student to Science. It's a nonprofit organization. And they went there and helped Newark Public School, everybody who's interested in STEM, to help them out to learn about the hands-on laboratory experiences. It has more of a mutual benefit. Our student Essex, they really shared their experience. It's also the other side, which is the high school, public school, Newark. They also got the benefit to learn that, the next door, the college next door, which is Essex County College in Newark, has a lot to offer and the program that they offer, including PreMed, if they're interested in the STEM area. And lastly, I want to just share with you, we have a strong affiliation with summer program, New Jersey Medical School at Rutgers. We have a NERA program, and we call that the summer program. It's a 6 weeks program. Student top-notch talented individuals from all over the nations. It's not only at Essex, but over the nations. They're competing to get a spot at that program. It's a 6 weeks program. And always we have outstanding students based on the talent and again, the high performance of our Essex County College student. We always have a spot, about 4 to 5 students, they join the program and they get the benefit of learning about the medical preparation for the MCAT or the dental admission test, and becomes really, it is a 3-year program, NERA 1, NERA 2, and NERA 3. Even when they graduate and they go to Rutgers, they can still apply and join the NERA 3 if they met the criteria. So this is really a nice network that we are working on, this PreMed Club. And we're hoping that the students get the benefit from their peers, get the benefit from the guest speakers, get the benefit of understanding what do they need. And besides advising and myself, I'm always available to help students with any type of relationship to consultation of planning for advisement and graduating with a very kind of aggressive timeline so they can finish in a very, including summer one, summer two. Some students, they showed interest to finish and expedite the graduation, then they can go to the next door university. But extraordinary team I have this year, as my team is really the executive members and did an extraordinary job. The previous members, they paved the way, and that's where we are now at this point. Again, I'm grateful for this team. I'm hoping that they pass the baton and they show the same momentum continuing forward to the upcoming years.
I think we're not going to have any problem with these students leaving a legacy for the future of this club here. Yeah, and they obviously have the right person advising them. How did we end up with two vice presidents of the Pre-Med Club, Victoria and Zafarala? What happened here?
Originally, the PreMed Club has always had two vice presidents from the start. So last year, we also had two vice presidents. The idea is to able to provide the adequate support that the president needs. And from the previous members, from the previous officers to us now, we know that having a great support, having a great support system behind the president, behind what the club is about, is really essential. It would really maximize what the program would offer to the students. So it has always been that way since the previous members, the previous of our executive officers, and I think we just continue that legacy.
Okay.
Yeah, and definitely it's to offer our support to the president because it is a huge workload. Our president Armando unfortunately couldn't make it today, but lucky thing he has us, and we were able to make it, and we were able to give our speech from the club. So it was definitely it definitely helps us in case if I'm not gonna make it, Victoria's there. If Victoria's not gonna make it, we have a line so everyone can support each other and everyone can hopefully be there and help each other out. So, yes.
Awesome. Now, who is the prospective audience potentially of new members for this club? What I mean to say is, are only bio pre-med students in the bio pre-med club, or do you occasionally get students from other majors who are interested in some of the activities that you all do, but may not necessarily be trying to go into that career field?
Oh, let me answer. Yes, we definitely, it's not only for bio pre-med. We definitely have many people from many different major comes in and join our club. We have different general science majors, we have math majors, we have chemistry majors. We have a lot of chemistry majors, actually. We have a lot of different people from various backgrounds who just interested in the bio pre-med field and interested in learning more and interested in advancing and building that network connection with other individuals. So anyone is welcome to join the club. It's free. And we're all here. We're one big family, eager to help each other on anything that they need. So yeah, so this is directed to anyone who's willing to offer their time and come and learn more and advance their social network and their future, essentially, on some opportunities that they might not know of that we're able to give them.
Excellent. And Victoria, I just wanted to circle back to you because I know you were mentioning events before. Let's just talk about some of those events a little more in depth if we can. What are some of the current upcoming events for bio pre-med?
Okay, some of the current upcoming events for the bio pre-med club, besides the tutoring sections, the peer tutoring, the first one is always going to be there. And we also have a cleanup coming up. We have a cleanup in collaborations with the Phi Theta Kappa Alumni Society at the college. We're going to continue every bi-weekly, have guest speakers come, have alumni come, have people in the medical field, have people, for instance, in the emergency department. We had one came about about 2 weeks ago. It was in the EMT, I
Yeah.
think, and it was also in the medical school as well. We had them come, so we continue. We're always going to have those people come. So we're just in the BioPremier Club. We always have something going on. So apart from all of those, we also have the blood drive. The blood drive, however, is still under certain. We're still under certain. We're still deciding on whether to add that or not, but definitely we're going to have a blood drive, because once we are able to reach out to many people and connect with many people, we are able to just do what we want to do. So we have the blood drive. We also plan to have a car wash, and that's just a waste fund for the club. We know we're in the pandemic. We know we are at home now. It was difficult. For instance, before the pandemic, we were able to just do a big sale and do some other events. So we're also planning on having a car wash, but that's still under. All of those are still under whether or not, depending on uh the uh the CDC guidelines, because we always have to follow the CDC guidelines. If the CDC guideline says, oh, we're not allowed here to go in there to do some of these things, we'll definitely call back. But this will always be at the back of our minds to do. This will always be the events that we'll do. We're also having a more like a, I wouldn't really call it a game night. I would call it a BioPreMed trivia, where we are going to basically allow people to ask questions. We're going to provide answers for them for any questions they have regarding their journey in the biology major, in the biology field, and and uh and stuff relating to your career journey. So we are having to have more of like a way to just increase the network and make sure to keep everyone engaged. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been doing a pretty good job of keeping your members and other students engaged during this time. What, Professor Kabakibi, you have always been or how long have you been the advisor to BioPreMed? Is it something new, or you've been doing this for a while?
Well, I mean, as a starting of the BioPreMed Club, it was almost 2 years ago. But I've been as an advisor of the BioPreMed program for quite some time, and I'm the program coordinator of the BioPreMed. So there's an indirect type of advisement and coaching and mentoring, all that is happening, but now it's more formalized to make it in a more of a club, to give initiative, to give back, and have student to student interactions, and then myself being the mentor and being the guy to help them through these activities. So it's been almost 2 years of BioPreMed Club, but indirectly I've been in the institution for so many years, not to mention how many years, but very many years.
Excellent, thank you.
1994, I've been teaching.
Wow, awesome. Essex?
Yes.
Wow, congratulations. Unreal.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now let's go around and ask everybody, what might a student who's watching right now that has no idea, is not a STEM major, saw, the email maybe from Mr. Graham about this virtual cafe, saw the name, saw the logo, looks cool. They like what it is on the surface. They like how it sounds. They know nothing about it. Let's start with Zaffarala. In 1 or 2 sentences, what is something that you would say to that new student who's watching right now, wants to join the club, maybe a little hesitant because they don't know the subject matter clearly as well as you all do? What would you say to them about joining the club?
I would definitely say for them to take a chance. This club will offer you experiences that you probably don't know, and opportunities that you probably don't know that could advance your future. And even if we have no opportunities to offer you, you can make new friends. Take the chance and expand your social network, and help us help you. We're here to help.
Victoria?
I'll say come join us. We are always here for you. And so no matter what your major is, no matter what, even if you're in the general science major, if you're a biochemist, because we are here for you. So just come take the opportunity. We'll just there's a lot to learn from the Biopremier Club. There's a lot. We have students motivate and further career goals. We have accelerate the journey of student at Essex County College. For instance, tutoring sections. If you're in a Biopremier Club, you know about these upcoming of activities that we have. You'll be able to benefit. You'll be able to hear it firsthand because a lot of people out there don't just know that the Biopremier Club are offering this opportunity. So they missed out on all this stuff. They missed out on an opportunity to actually increase your knowledge, probably in the biology field. And the thing with the like peer tutoring program that we have at the Biopremier Club is that it doesn't just offers courses. It doesn't just cover biology. We have math tutors, we have chemistry tutors, we have English tutors, we have biology tutors, we have chemistry 103, 104. We are just there for you. So come join us and take the chance, like Josh said.
Professor Kabakibi, same question to you. The student is watching right now, unsure if they should join the club, are interested in the subject matter. What could you say to them?
Well, the club, it's really a branch of Essex County College family. So we're extended, it's part of the extended family. We are under one roof here from Essex County College perspective. But if you're going to small scales, like you're going from a bigger family to a smaller family, the BioPreMed Club, an initiative and vision and mission is we invite everybody to, number one, is to build the network and understand first, when you are at the college itself, you are building a network within the college. You're also building a network outside of the college because you are networking with peers who already graduated. You're also learning at some point, the individuals not only learning, but they also giving back. So the members, and I see an example of Victoria and Josh DeFarola, both of them were active member of the club, and now they have taken an executive member positions and they are contributing and giving back. So there's a lot of contributions. There's a lot of benefit from both sides because the individual who joined the club has also a value. We value the person's background. We value the person's contributions. It doesn't matter how much contribution we're referring to. There's no small contribution versus large contribution. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses, and we're building a network to move forward. And this becomes a lot of avenue for students to learn about scholarship, to learn about medical school, to learn about, okay, some of the key element of events that relate to medical professions. We're inviting members outside of the school, within the school. There's faculty that also they're invited to contribute and give back and say, well, okay, this is what special recommendation that we recommend to students in this area. So the purpose of a member to join the club is not only but just network, but being engaged in an area that the person is really passionate to become an active member of a community that at some point will give back, not only within Essex, outside of Essex. They learn about the club, they learn about medical, they learn about extracurricular activity. Even someone who is not a biopremed major, they can go and contribute to the STEM, to the student to science. They can do and help out outside of Essex in the maybe a blood drive. So it's not only focused on biopremed, it's branches out, and still it's a family type of relation. Everybody support each other's. And again, if they don't know something, not everybody knows everything, including myself, but we have the right people, we have the right members that can guide and they can mentor, they can help out. And that's the purpose of it, is to build a strong team. So in that person, when they feel really at ease, whether they are within Essex, outside of Essex, they go to a next door university. We don't want them to be lost. They know that there's someone out there who is a former graduate. They can give a hand, they can give them a tip of what is going on at the four-year institution. Everybody finishing from community college is going to a 4-year. They feel, oh my goodness, they're kind of a little bit lost. So It has had a very good initiative. It explores a lot of options to the students. So that's why we encourage everybody to join.
So students watching at home, what I'm gathering from speaking with the vice presidents of the Biology Pre-Medicine Club and their advisor, Professor Kabakibi, is that not only is this a club and a network, essentially this is a giant support system. This is for people that may need assistance, may have the ability to assist others, and you are linking them together, and that is awesome. And that makes me very happy to hear that we have unbelievable clubs active during this time, because I know it's difficult for everybody. I know everybody's got work and their own course load. So to do a club on top of that, it just seems crazy, but you all are doing a fantastic job at it. I commend you. Anybody that's here in the meeting today, please give them a virtual round of applause, because it really is something to be commended. I know that when I was your age and I was in college, and I was an active student, that would have been the last thing on my mind, much less being an executive and going for office for that club too, and being the ones to arrange things and organize everybody. It's amazing. So just know that you all are very special for taking on this position and helping to guide your fellow students at Essex here at making sure you use your help, and I know they're grateful for that. I want to ask you all, since I have all my science people here, I don't want to get political, but you all know stuff that the rest of us may not know about science. So let's get right to it. COVID, we had a pandemic, first one here in this country, and forever. Took the country by surprise, I'll say, and swept us off our feet. We got the vaccine now. We're lifting regulations, precautions as time goes on, resuming to normalcy over X amount of time. My question to my gurus with us today: can this happen again? Can we have another pandemic? Is there anything preventative that we can do besides wash our hands and stay safe? Like, what is this inevitable? Is it not inevitable? Am I looking at this wrong? What do you think, Zafarallah?
All right. Let's start with the first one. Can we have a pandemic again? It certainly is possible. I'm not going to say that that's not possible, because it certainly is. We could have a pandemic again. But I say that for our current pandemic and current situation right now, I would recommend that everyone follow the CDC guidelines, stay 6 feet away. Even if you got your vaccine, still practice wearing your mask out in public, and still keeping to the CDC guidelines, and try not to carry a aura of panic, because it's nothing to panic about. As long as we follow the guidelines and we stay safe, everything should work out, and we should get back into school in no time.
I hope so. Victoria, what do you think?
I mean, no one knows what the future holds for us. But however, one thing I would say is that this pandemic actually has opened us to a new experience, to a new way, because the I for my I when I was doing microbiology, I just came across a resources that actually focuses on like epidemiologies, people that actually work on pandemic and stuff like that. They're not taken serious before. So right now we know that this is something to be taken serious. So even in case of any pandemic in the future, we know how to handle it. We know how to take care of it. We know the preventative measures to take. So even if we have one in the future, I'm definitely sure that it wouldn't hit us by surprise. We are prepared. We know how to be flexible. We know that we're not just going in one direction. We can move in different directions and be fine at the end of the day. So I would say yes, follow the CDC guidelines and stay safe.
I feel a little bit better now. Professor Kabakibi, now that Victoria and Zafarallah have just kind of outlined it for us, that Do you agree that I guess it just kind of had to happen to us as a country for us to understand the seriousness and the heaviness of this, and now maybe we're more prepared for if this happens again? What do you think?
I think so. I think there's a possibility this could happen, but I think it's a lesson to learn at the worldwide, let's call it that way. WHOs and all the different affiliates worldwide, they have kind of more of preventive measures. I mean, the measures have been over within, usually the vaccines takes about 3 to 4 years to get approval and get it formulated and get all the science together. But we were able to expedite this process and get it within less than a year. But does that mean there's a lot more awareness at the individual levels, and then at every level, starting from individuals all the way to countries and beyond that, that the awareness about infection rate and preventive measures, everybody's aware now. Whether now we go back and vaccinate and all that, you could see there's a lot of reduction after the individuals start following the guidelines and follow the recommendation. Now, the key is the awareness at every level. And the preventive measures, definitely the root cause is essential. So that means that we'll give a cohesive preventive measures at not only from an institution, I'm talking about at the country, at the nation, and so on. Every state has a specific preventive measures, but not going from a state standpoint, going at the US and beyond US, there's a lot of preventive measures that should have been taken care of early. And now we are saying, okay, this is doable. Maybe the way that's been handled, if there is another infections that's going to cause, not to get to the level of pandemic, but there's an infection localized, is to maybe trying to determine root cause and expedite the recovery and preventive measures, and not to really have that to be expanded. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more unknown than known as we speak. And even with the mutation rate of the viruses, that could be, we hear that from the science, that this could be more of like a seasonal thing, nobody knows. So there's a lot more unknown than known, even though with the vaccines, that individuals getting vaccinated, but there's a lot of question mark. Even individual who got the COVID and recovered from COVID, all of that, there's a lot of question marks about the recovery, about going back to normal. And we're hoping that everything is done in the more of precautionary measures, so we don't have to go backward. Instead of we need to move forward and going backward, then individuals start lowering the guard and moving the mask, and then what happened? We go backward instead of moving forward. I think we need to move forward, and everybody should have that awareness about now surroundings, about infections, about preventive measures, all these. And the PPE, not everybody was aware of the word PPE before, although I introduced that in my classes, but now there's a lot more awareness. And I think this will cause a lot more reduction in infection rate, because even think about the number of prevalence of flu has been reduced. Why is that reduced? Because actually we have a preventive measures from the COVID, and then what happened to the flu? That's also got reduced. So we're hoping things get in the right directions, and the herd effect and the vaccination rate goes higher, and we really go back to normal as soon as possible, because definitely we want back to, everybody wants to go back to their normal, go back to their jobs, and some of the jobs really requires hands-on, including education that requires interactive, especially in STEM. You gotta have the hands-on experiences, you gotta learn the laboratory, you gotta learn how to do certain measurements, how to do specific techniques. And that's considered essential learning tool for the individual to enhance their skills, the laboratory skills and experiences.
Students absorb everything that these people just said. These are a professional guru and two up-and-coming gurus of bio pre-med, and I'm glad I asked that. I feel a little bit better now. You all are right. It's kind of like the world went to, normally people get a health scare when they go to the doctor after not going for a long time. So it's kind of like the entire world just went to the doctor at the same time. So now we have like a universal health scare. Now we're all a little bit more aware of our personal hygiene habits, a little bit more aware of droplets and coughing and all these things. And not so much even looking out for ourselves, but also for those folks around us, and realizing that every single one of us, little or big, has an impact physically on other people that are around us. We can't really get around that. So we need to be aware of our own habits and try and curb some of these things. Let's end on a little bit of a lighter note if we can. We'll go around with one last question for the three of you. Start with Victoria this time. Victoria, during COVID, what was one thing that got you through? What was a good de-stressor? Was it your favorite song? Was it a video game? Was it a friend? What was something that you could turn to frequently to when you need a little time away from the PreMed Club, when you need a little time away from Essex, a little time away from work, maybe even a little time away from people in your home or whatever the case may be? What is a little bit of time away from the virus? What is something that got you through?
Something that has definitely got me through is actually knowing my limits and taking a break. There's nothing from the pandemic, I've learned that there's nothing wrong in actually stepping back and giving yourself time to recuperate and actually reorganize your thoughts, basically. So if I notice that I'm overwhelmed with maybe schoolwork, maybe the club activities, I give myself a break. I do something. I pray. I make sure that I communicate with people. I go on my phone and and go on Netflix sometimes, watch anime. Just do the things that I know that are a stress releaser for me. That I consider a stress releaser. So I even talk to my family sometimes, and we play Go and chairs, and it's just I just make sure I take a break, and after all of that, I said that taking a break is as important as doing what you're supposed to be doing, whether in the club, whether in the school, whether in your work. So yes, that's what got me through. Taking a break.
Professor Kawakibi, what got you through this past 12, 13, 14 months?
I think there's multi-factors to it. One is you have the acknowledgement that this is all of us, we're in the same boat. We need to work together and be open. And the key is to be open and not to really share your feelings and share your thoughts with others. And you could do that at the family level and beyond, and the support level between individuals. There's a lot of individuals, they felt, again, their discomfort and they felt stressed out because of being in the house, and they changed to the new normal. So being open and being this has that open dialogue and have the family support, have again understanding the prayers and then the faith, along with the support of family and friends, that will help you transition to another, from one end to another. The stressful condition affected everybody. Part of my wife's side, they lost two family members because of COVID in a very short period of time. It was also a surprise to all of us. But again, as I said, the comfort and that type of exchange of what you're feeling, the thoughts, helps the individuals. Beside taking the break, yes, the break is essential, but the sharing and the open dialogue and understanding, we're all here to support each other's, and we're all here to bypass this type of stress level, and hopefully we move back to the normalcy. So that's really what's the essential part of the support. And beside that is taking a break and then acknowledging that you're doing the best thing you can. You're following the steps and the measures. You're following the science. That's key, is to follow the science. And then beyond that, there's things that cannot be within your control. So you're following every single measures, and you are exchanging, yes, what you're feeling and your thought with others to get that out of your chest. That is considered essential, because that puts you in a more comfort zone than going through that stressful, and you keep going and isolating yourself. You need to speak up and you need to talk to others, and you need to have that type of comfort between each others to help each other and support.
Professor, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for being there for these students and advising them during this time. Zafarallah, aside from making amazing Zoom backgrounds, I know you're the guy. What got you through COVID, man?
Well, Victoria and Professor Kawakiri said it all. If I could offer an advice to fellow students on what they can do, this usually used to be a lot easier when we weren't away from school and in classes. But I would say try to find a friend. Try to find a friend in one of your Zoom classes, or a friend from before the COVID or pandemic, someone you can talk to every day and share what you're feeling, and share, just alleviate some of that stress you have built up from school, family, COVID, everything else. Try to find a pair you can study with. I know that there's been a lot of temptations for online learning and stuff. But if you can find someone that is willing to go the hard route with you and study and make you successful, and that's someone you should keep, and you should is someone you should cherish as well. Find a friend that you can share your experiences with, your pain, your all of those discomforts. A best friend. That's all I got to say.
I love this. No, I'm gonna inform you all of something. I've asked other folks this question, and I usually get video games, movies, records. That's why I was asking you maybe what was your favorite record that got you through this. And Victoria said pray. Professor Kabakibi said spend time with family. And you just dropped that sweet sentiment on us. It's like I wasn't expecting this at all. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest, but I really appreciate these sentiments. That's great. Yeah, because family does keep us together, and it will, and friends will keep us sane. And it's nice to be able to vent to folks and let them know what's going on with us, especially during times like this when we're isolated from each other frequently and we're on boxes on computers, next to each other. So this was an unbelievable interview. I'm really glad that you all did this today and showed up to let our students know about all the amazing things that PreMed is doing. If students want to get in touch with PreMed, is there an email address and specifically that they should reach out to? I'll post it on the screen as well, but can you let us know?
Yes, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. All right, students, if you would like to learn more, even more rather, because you just learned a lot about this club, but if you want to learn more or have questions or would like to join the biology pre-medicine club at Essex County College, please shoot an email to eccbiopremedclub@gmail.com. You will see it on the screen, not right this second, but it will be there when it's on YouTube. So we'd like to thank our fabulous guest today, Pre-Med Club Vice President Victoria Adara-Bigby, Pre-Med Club Vice President Zafarala Budasinj, Pre-Med Club OG Classic Advisor, Professor Kabakibi, the man. We thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for showing up for the students. We sure learned a lot today. We got to talk to some STEM gurus. We learned a lot of awesome things. Most importantly, follow the science. So we want to thank the Pre-Med Club for showing up. We want to thank all of our Essex students and club members for showing up to support them. This episode will be available on our YouTube page, SLAO Essex, in the next day or so. And if you're watching this on the rerun, make sure you watch the whole thing. There's a lot of good info here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. We hope that you and your families are staying well, staying safe. And it's hot out again, so please stay cool as well. And we will catch you all next time. Take care.